So I just went and called up my boys that I know from down there, see if they wanted to go. They were talking about it's kind of expensive. I forgot how expensive it is to get in some of these clubs in Miami. So I just went ahead and went by myself. And after the bouncer or the doorman basically made me wait for about a good 20 minutes or so, then he said it's going to be $80 to get inside. So I was like, fine, I'll pay it. So, and as I was waiting to get in, I saw a couple of really hot girls walk through, and one girl, she looked like Kate Beckinsale. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Some British actor. It's pretty hot. And then her friend was a little taller than she was, but she obviously wasn't as attractive, in my opinion, as a girl that I really thought was pretty hot, that looked like Kate Beckinsale. So anyways, got in the club, and as soon as I got in, Club Live is like pretty big techno club or house or whatever you want to call it. Jam-packed in there, lots of people dancing around, a lot of hot girls. And so the first set, there was like these 3 Russian girls. One was just like super tall. I don't know what it was, but the girl that I was trying to hit on, she was kind of a shorter blonde chick, and she was just kind of dancing all spaced out or whatever. So I just kind of danced up in front of her and then started to pull her towards me and started dancing with her closer and whatnot. And every time I did that, the tall girl, she had like this light stick in her hand, and she would try to stick it between us two to try to separate us and tell me, nah, you got to back up and that sort of thing. So I respectfully just kind of backed up, but then I would go immediately back in and try to pull her closer. So then I thought to myself, well, maybe I need to get some rapport with her friend so she could just leave us alone. So I went and talked to her, asked her what her name was and where she's from. None of these girls could really speak that good of English. So after I did that, then I kind of went back to the other girl and basically kept dancing with her. And then she kind of left us alone at that point. But then some other guys came in and first tried to take the girl that I was with. And then that guy's friend basically talked to the tall chick. And then after a while of dancing, I guess convinced her to move her around somewhere else in the club. So the girl that I was with basically went with them. So that kind of left me by myself again, just kind of dancing and kind of vibing to myself. So after a little bit of that, went walking around the club. And then when I came back to basically the same spot I was at, I noticed that at the bar was the chick that I saw come through the door with her friend, but she was by herself, and the chick that looks like Kate Beckinsale, and she was standing there looking at her phone, and she had like a glass of champagne sitting there on the bar, and she was leaning up against the bar. So I immediately just went in and just opened her with my standard opener, which is basically, hey, how's it going? And she looked up from her phone and said, fine.
hospital. She said she never played that serious. Yeah, you get older. When I figured, you know, it's like, after a while, you can get used to it, right? Was you born and raised there? See, that's like hard, because everybody here is like from Colombia or Cuba or you land at all, and then you look like a plain, like, oh, beautiful right over there. Some people like, look like they have some kind of color in them, and I'm like, hey, it doesn't matter, you know, it's all good. Going to Chicago, but I lived there back in the early 2000s, and now I have a trucking business. So that's what moved me over. That's what relocated me to Texas. Yeah. Otherwise, I would be here. So. Yeah. Who you here? So who you here with? Where's he at? 'Cause I don't want to punch me out, right? How you doing? Oh, for real? Okay. How you doing? My name is Chris. I saw you walking in earlier. Walking so fast, you know, I'm like, looking like a passion show. Wait, did you hear the club or what? Wow, okay. Yeah, I understand. And they come around and tell me that, you know, look at them, whatever, you know, follow the other side. Oh, okay, yeah. Let's keep an eye on it, right? Really? Really? Well, you know, it's funny because I never thought I would like it, but actually I learned how to do the square dance. So, which is actually more complicated than you believe, you know? I was doing this stuff and I was like, oh man, I need help. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, absolutely. 305.
As she was pulling away, she was like, hey, take my number. And I was like, okay, cool. So she gave me her number, and then she says, text me your name right away. And I try to come back. And so I was like, okay, cool. So she left, and then that kind of left me by myself again. And then sure enough, I come back. Well, actually, I made another round through the club, come back to the same spot, and the next thing you know, the chick comes back, but this time by herself, and stands right next to me. And so I reopened her again. And so basically, I took this as a good sign, like, okay, cool. I grabbed her, and then I hugged her real tight and kind of pulled her head up to my face or whatever, and I whispered some crazy, not whispered, I basically said some crazy things into her ear, and then she started laughing, and so then she was like, hey, I'll be right back. So I was like, okay, cool. So she left, and then I text her to say, hey, meet me at around the corner at the bathroom. And so she didn't respond to that. But then later on, the club started to close. And so I get back to where I was staying, and about 8 o'clock in the morning, I get this phone call, and it was her. But looking back on it, I shouldn't have answered it because I was so excited to see this hot chick calling me at this hour, that I know I sounded probably overly excited or kind of chody on the phone. So she, like, I could hear her on the other line, but she wasn't saying anything. And I kept saying, her name and hello and that sort of thing. And then finally I just hung up on her. So, but then I tried to text her and say, hey, call me back. This is such and such and such and such. And then no response. Then I tried to call her, and the phone went to voicemail, I guess. So I didn't leave any message. So I was kind of disappointed at that. Then later on that night, I was supposed to go out again, but I decided, well, let me give this chick one more chance to call her. And when I called her, she basically said, well, I didn't call her. Yeah, I called her. Phone went to voicemail, and then I sent her a text message, and then she sent some message back saying, who's this? Kind of like that other girl that I got blown out from, who I knew at the gym. But it said, she had a boyfriend as well. But anyways, I told her who I was, and then she responded back with the same thing. I don't know who you are, that sort of thing. And so I was like, okay, cool, no problem. And, it is what it is. So, but looking back on it, I mean, I don't really consider that like a blowout because given the opportunity to get away from her boyfriend, who knows what would have happened, I'm noticing that the hotter these girls are, the more chances they're going to have a boyfriend. And I've kind of always known that. The thing that you have to learn in game, or at least I'm learning in game all over again, is that to get these girls from their boyfriend, you have to take advantage and push through as much as you can right at the moment that you meet them, because otherwise you're probably not gonna get another chance. So this was just another example of that. And basically, that was it. As far as my practicing game in Miami. So wish I had more, because I was planning on going to New York and then Chicago and then Houston, but I had another engagement to go to, so I couldn't make all those destinations. So after that, I just went to another city that I had to go to, and then I went back home. So now basically, I do have some audio, some video footage of this, and you can see some of that probably now. As far as announcements goes, I am almost finished with Lion McCree's book, Rapid Escalation. And so shortly I'll be putting together a book review on Lion McCree's product. And so far it's going to be a pretty interesting review, because the book is actually quite interesting. So that's coming up. And then also too, might be starting a fundraiser for this project that I've been little by little talking about, because the cost to actually finish the project is pretty substantial. So I'm debating on whether or not I need outside funding in order to make that happen. Because once this project is complete, I think it will revolutionize the pickup / seduction community. So we'll see. And then, as you can see here, I'm going back to checking this guy, Good Looking Loser, out on YouTube. I think for a while he was banned on YouTube for some of the videos he had put up, but looks like he's back. So that's good, because one of his latest videos he has out is actually a must-see, important video on game. I mean, he goes through back-to-back blowouts, but at the end is able to pull. So real good video to show just how real the game is, and how it's not like some of these top dating gurus or POAs try to make you think it is, where it's 100% guaranteed for every set you open. So anyways, that's pretty much what I have for today, for this journey in game. Also, I'm going to be going back to my regular schedule. At least I'm going to try to keep putting these videos out every week on the same day, which is pretty much Saturday, and then basically get back into full-time game. So because my journey continues, and this is my journey in game for November 15th, 2014. And until the next time, keep taking action.